Welcome back to the channel and to episode 2 of the Morocco series. In this episode, my brother and I ride from Marrakesh to Dades Gorge through the Tizi and nTichka pass. We were going to be on the road for the next 4 days, so picked up our bikes and loaded them up with all our gear.
I went straight. I was going to go up there, but it's one way.
Leaving Marrakesh was pretty easy, and it certainly helps to be on motorbikes where you can slip through the traffic.
On the road again. This is the last big city we're going to see for like the next 4 days.
Yeah.
The journey would start by heading out through the outskirts of Marrakesh until we got to the Tizi and nTichka pass, which runs through the High Atlas Mountains.
A bit of a wake-up call, isn't it, when you like separate like that, right? I'm still good, man, but just a honk if you want to stop, yeah? Alright, cool.
This is what we've just ridden up. So a little bit of a hill and one hell of a set of curves.
Once you're through the mountain pass, it's a long straight run across flat country before you get to Dades Gorge. About halfway from Marrakesh to Dades Gorge is the city of Ouarzazate. It's home to CLA Studios, which is quite a famous studio, and quite a few well-known movies have been made here, including Jewel of the Nile, Gladiator, and even Game of Thrones.
We could go back down that street. That looks like a pretty decent street.
That one there?
Yeah.
Alright, let's give it a shot.
I'll do a spin around and we'll go down there, eh?
For some reason we were struggling to find somewhere to eat in Ouarzazate, even though it's a big city, but finally we stumbled across a place that looked promising, and there was even a parking attendant who could keep an eye on the bikes, for a minor fee of course. This turned out to be a great cafe, and we had a really excellent lunch and got back some much needed energy for the rest of our ride.
Yeah, this will do, eh?
This is kind of about, out of 5, I'd say about 4 stars more than I was thinking.
Elle pas trop coque 0 de.
D'accord.
Merci. C'est très joli ici.
Merci beaucoup.
What are they called?
Aceitunas alineadas. Tienen especies como ajo, perejil, orégano y guindilla.
After our break we jumped back on the bikes and headed towards Dades Gorge, back through the desert. We were really enjoying the Royal Enfield Himalayans, but it's these long straight runs where you do miss that extra power, and I was missing my Tiger 900 from back home. One thing we noticed about riding in Morocco is that the roads tend to be either amazing or terrible, and sometimes the transition between the two is very sudden and without much warning. Like here, where the perfect tar road suddenly changes to deep, fine gravel, which is pretty tricky hitting at speed on a motorcycle. No matter how good the road seems, you really do have to keep a close lookout.
Man, how's that brown valley when you come down the hill?
Yeah, pretty good, eh?
Huge. That's why you slow down a bit. It was the scope of the downfall.
Yeah.
And the ridge line was like razor flat. You know, like
It's insane, man.
yeah. Palms me. 4 fingers. You're watching this. 10 hours of motorcycle battle has given me a flat butt.
After a much needed break, we headed off again, and it wasn't long before we made it to Boumaln Dades, which is the big city near Dades Gorge, which is sort of the gateway to the gorge. We headed straight through the town because we were keen to see Dades Gorge before the sun was too low in the sky and get to our accommodation. At this stage we'd been riding about 10 hours and we're pretty exhausted, especially my brother who isn't as used to long distance riding. But seeing this valley really gave us some energy back. The geology is unbelievable and the camera just doesn't do it justice.
Hey, mate.
Finally, we arrived at the night's accommodation, the Riad Rihanna. Rihanna wasn't staying there, I think. This riad turned out to be really chilled out and friendly, and we got talking to the receptionist, who turned out to be someone who grew up in the area and was able to give us all sorts of tips for where to ride in the mountains. As soon as he suggested one of the roads would be too difficult for us, I immediately made sure we hit that one tomorrow.
It's gonna be good.